Din 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 dan ya din din din.
Hi, I'm Gindi Walkup. In this train-along video, you need to know how to do a lunge, and ideally you'd also know how to do a girata and a low void. You'll also need a sword or a stick, just something to hold. So if you don't know how to lunge, go have a look at the how to lunge video that I've also put up. I'm going to briefly show you how to do the girata and the low void. If there's an exercise that you shouldn't do because it's not good for your body or whatever, just don't do it. And maybe do one of the other exercises again, or you could do the guard intervals exercise, which is linked here as well. So how to do the girata and the low void. The girata is done to get off the line, just like the low void is, but I get off the line by turning my body away. So if there's an attack coming down here, I want to take my body and move it over here where I'm not being attacked. And the way that I'm going to do that is by turning my shoulders, and at the same time I'm going to pivot on the front foot. This is a girata of the front foot. And as I turn my shoulders and pivot my foot, I'm going to take a little step with that front foot off to the side. And with the rear hand, I can either send it back or just leave it where it is and keep the hand ready to parry if I need it. So I extend my arm, turn my body and take a step off the line. And then I recover back. And that's how to do the girata. The low void is a little bit trickier. It's a bit more intense. I'm basically taking my body from up here and I'm saying I'm going to get out of the way of an attack by getting underneath it. So how I'm going to do that, I'm going to turn my hand so that my fingernails are down in second, and I'm going to turn my body at the same time. So I'm going from this slightly profiled position to a more square position. And as I square, I'm going to lean forwards and get low, keeping my bum up, so I'm really hinging from the hip here. And I can take just a little step with my front foot, and then my other hand can just gently touch the ground if I want. That part's not necessary if you don't want to, but I kind of like it. I think it's a nice guide. I want to put my chest on my front thigh. So I extend and turn, leaning, get low. And I want to lead the whole action with my head. And it should feel a little bit like that, a little bit circular. From the side and back and back. And that's how to do the low void. All right, let's make a start. We're going to start with fire hydrants. So, fire hydrants on all fours. One leg comes up, keep the leg bent, bring it down, change sides. Keep going. You want to keep your hips still as you do this, and I like to alternate legs. Okay, lunge and turn now. One way, and then the other. As you go, you want to get a bit lower. Okay, grab your sword if you've got one, or a stick. Lunges, perfect form. Just in place. Starting with the dominant side. If you're getting bored, practice turning your hand as you go. You want to make sure that everything is perfect. All of the action is correct. Change legs. Now we're going to do retreat and lunge, advance and lunge. So retreat, lunge, advance, lunge. You can do it with or without a sword. Change legs. Okay, disengages now with your stick or sword. Arm extended, clockwise, anti-clockwise. Clockwise, anti-clockwise. Keeping it out there, keeping those circles. If you want to add a little bit of footwork to this, you can add a disengage into a lunge. If you're going to do that, of course, getting into your stance. The important thing here is you're practicing keeping the arm really extended so you get a bit of work. Change arms. Circles. You want to keep the circles really little. All right, now we're doing the girata. So front foot, dominant foot first, and recover, and recover. With or without, doesn't matter. Looking at that imaginary opponent. Off the line, on the line. Change arms, same thing. Try to come back to a good stance every time. Now the low void. For this one, I like to do it without a sword because we're just conditioning. Dominant foot forward first, and low, and back. Start looking at the imaginary opponent, finish looking at their imaginary feet. Get your head low, and come back. Low, and come back. Chest to thigh. Back into stance, down. Change legs. Back into stance and low. Advance, advance, lunge. Advance, advance, gather, lunge. 1, 2 passes back. Advance, advance, gather, lunge. 1, 2 passes back. Advance, advance, gather, lunge. 1, 2 passes back. Change legs. Done. Thanks everyone. See you next time.